Hi, Jem.
Hello.
Hello.
You're right.
Nice to see you there.
I'm speaking very slowly for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jem.
You're welcome.
Today we have a little talk with you.
Okay.
And it's really an honor for us to be here with you. Let's start with the first question about your story and relationship with the synthesizers.
Wow. I think I always liked them as a child. I think it was always it's Brian Eno's fault actually, because there was a program here in the UK called Top of the Pops, which used to be like a sort of every Thursday, I think it was a half an hour program, and they'd play all the hits of the day. Anyway, Roxy Music were on it one year, and Eno was there, dressed head to foot in silver, with a painted silver, the silver face in a silver cape, and he was playing what I think was an EMS Putney or something, just like this.
Yeah.
I was 8. I remember thinking, that is what I'm going to do for a living.
Good.
So it sort of went from there really, and I was just always fascinated by electronics and and synthesizers, and the guitars really didn't really do it for me. I was much more into the kind of unusual sounds and stuff. So yeah, pretty much very early on, I just really liked synthesizers. So that was Brian Eno's fault.
And this is an interesting question. How many synthesizers do you have owned?
What? Sin ever?
Ever?
Wow. A lot. A lot. It's probably more what I haven't owned. I've never owned a CS80. Actually, I've never owned a Mini Moog. Actually, I've never been. Was never, for some reason, I was more. I don't know. I was more of a Tony Banks person than a Rick Wakeman person. So yeah, no, lots and lots. Varying types, really. Probably my favourite was probably my ARP Quadra, which I've had 2 of those actually. And I sold it. I sold the second one. I don't know why. And Jupiter 8. I had a Jupiter 8, which was very, very nice. And again, I sold that, and I think now they're worth about £22,000.
Wow.
So yes, and actually at the moment I've kind of I've got, you can't see it here, there's a Juno X. I've just arrived here.
Yeah.
I've got Prophet 10 here, the new one, not the old one. I've got a Fender Rhodes 73 here, and a piano and a Matriarch currently.
Matriarch, okay.
Very cool synth.
And you also have the Phantom.
I don't have the Phantom at the moment. No, I don't actually. I've it's a kind of, and there's a couple of wave states down here which I'll tell you about. No, I sold the Phantom. I sold the Phantom because my live rig is going to be it's going to be 2 Korg wave states.
Oh, okay.
Sounds mad. They're brilliant synths. They're absolutely brilliant because they're now they sample, because they didn't do that. Now you can load your own samples in. It's absolutely brilliant. So I've got 2 of them. So effectively, I've got an 8 gigabyte sampler, an 8-part sort of synth, and all these different wave sounds, and it's seamless changing, and they're for live. They're exactly what I need. They're perfect. So I think what I'm gonna have either the Juno X down here as the master keyboard, then 2 wave states which will basically do everything. They're brilliant, and the best thing now is because you can get the wave state native plugin, which is quite separate. So I could just sit with my laptop on a train, and program the live set, which is great. So it made a lot of sense. And then the best thing about them is the wave states is they're very small, so I could probably put them in a suitcase and just travel around. So the Phantom, and I see there's lots of Phantoms going on here. You got oh, that's the new
Phantom
one.
0, Phantom 6 here, Phantom 6 behind Alberto. Here you can see Yamaha Montage.
Yeah. What's that?
Polybrute.
What's that one with the red lights? What's that there on the top of the montage?
This,
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Phantom 06.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's really nice. That's the new one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
You have the same sound of the Phantom, but in 6 kilograms.
Wow. Is it sampled the same?
Yeah.
It's multi-sampled and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside the Phantom, you have 2 gigs for exit and samples.
Yeah.
You only have 256 megabytes.
Oh, okay. Right.
Not the best. You can load more samples into into the wave state,
Yeah.
but
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
pretty light.
Very nice.
Jem, what's your approach with sound design?
What, for synthesizers or for production, for music production? Which one?
In general, for your own sound.
Sound design. I quite like. Because Pro Tools is my sort of main recording bit of software. So in terms of sound design, I quite like things that sound. I sort of quite like. I'm a big fan of artists like painting artists like Escher, people like that. You know, where the stairs are sort of going up the never-ending staircase, and the hands are all kind of going around each other. And stuff. And I quite like my sound design wise. My brain is a bit like that. I quite like things to be a little bit sort of, you think they're right, but then they're not quite.
Okay.
I kind of, it's sort of slightly like, and Hypnosis, Hypnosis album covers, that kind of thing. So my approach to sound design is a bit visual like that. I try and sort of have it so it's just slightly different. So I'll have things that are, maybe out of phase when you don't necessarily think they are, or I'm a big fan of things going backwards as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Quite know why. But I remember my dad used to have a Stellavox tape, like a tape machine. So I used to always turn the tapes over and get it to do feedback loops and go backwards. And so yeah, so I think with it's sort of I quite like sounds that are sort of slightly. I don't like big sounds particularly. I know it sounds a bit weird with Million Town and stuff, but like little odd. Kind of wobbly sounds or sort of delicate little noises and stuff. I quite like putting lots of those together. I don't know. It's interesting. I think whatever's required. I mean, I do like playing with sound. So taking what's quite nice sometimes is to finish a mix and then take chunks of that mix and then further manipulate it. So you kind of what you think is a finished mix, and you go and suddenly go, the things happening, like it'll be out of phase over here or reversed. To the end of Tower Block, actually, that bit, that section at the end of Tower Block is a sort of classic case of that. So I actually I'd finished the mix, and then I took the mix again and cut it about again to make it even more sort of like that. Exactly. So that's how that bit at the end was done. It was kind of brilliant.
Daniel is big fan.
It was done by finishing the mix and then cutting it about again, so it's never finished. Really.
Great, thank
you. What's your favorite Frost song?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to say Tower Block's probably quite high up there, actually. I think that's kind of that's top 3, top 2. It might even, I don't know. I really liked it because it pissed so many people off.
Yeah. Numbers 2 is a great song.
It was sort of and there's sort of a couple of bits that there's the keyboard solo. I think it's the first one. Is it the first one? Yeah, first one was kind of I remember just thinking I hadn't done that before. That was something, when you try and challenge yourself to come up with new bits and things that you haven't maybe done. I remember thinking I haven't played like that before, so I was really pleased with that. And then there's the Glass on the Carpet section. Again, those chords are really nice, and the beat kind of cool. And then the ending section is really, I wanted it to sound like your house is being knocked down, so that's why it's getting hit from here and hit from here. So I think that is a very big contender. I mean, I could be predictable and say, Black Light Machine. But the Dividing Line, actually, I like the Dividing Line as well. That's probably those my top two: Dividing Line and Tower Block. My joint favourites.
And your relationship with Million Town Songs that song is my absolutely favorite song.
Oh, brilliant. Well, Million Town. The thing about Million Town is because it was I wrote lots of bits and then sort of somehow tried to kind of make it all work. When I listen to it, I can still see it's a bit Frankenstein. It's all a bit kind of sewed together and stuff. So I mean, I can sometimes hear the joints and sort of go. But yeah, I mean, but that's just me being pedantic. No, that was brilliant fun to do. Because it was when I did the first album. I think the first song I did was Black Light Machine. Then I think the second one was Hyperventilate, and then I think the third one was Million Town, and that was over a winter. It took about 4 months to put together that song, because I didn't do it all in one go. So I'd do a bit, and I'd go and do my work, and then come back. And I remember late nights in the winter in my little studio. It was cold, there was raining, and I'm sitting there sort of programming drums and keyboards and just thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? Nobody's gonna like this. No one's gonna get this. And so it was quite nice when we released it, and everyone kind of went, no, we do like it. It's good. So I just remember it was a really long slog and a really long job to get that finished. But I remember finishing it and just thinking, wow, all right. But the thing now is whenever we do it live, before we start playing, I look and think, oh God, it's 25 minutes. Here we go, and it's kind of, it is in the set, it dominates the set, and we are doing it live. This tour coming up in November, so it's going to be this huge chunk of the set, but it'd be good fun to do. It's really good fun to play live. Actually, it is good fun.
The next tour included an Italian date?
Not yet. Not yet. We will do. I mean, obviously, the world was in a very different place.
You are welcome always. We are waiting you.
We did. When did we play? We played Verona. Was it?
Verona 2017.
It's 2017. Oh my God. Right. Okay. Wow. Okay. We definitely have to do that. Wherever you return to Italy. Now we will.
When you come to Italy, you are welcome to us.
We would definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So it would be brilliant fun to come back, actually, because I know that with that festival, you can only play it once, apparently. That's the rule. You play it, then they go, no, you can't come back. So no, we'd love to. We'd love to. I mean, it was just difficult with COVID and everything to get over to Europe. And I think now even the UK government they've resolved the work permit thing as well now, because that was the thing that was difficult for a while. We couldn't go and play in Europe without incurring huge costs. But I think that's been sorted. So yes, I say yes. Frost says yes.
Great. If you need a Phantom, we have 3.
Okay, cool.
If you need again other sounds, I'm here.
I'll take your Phantom. I'll be back on the plane with that.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
So, do you want to say hello to all the DKS Synth Lab people out there, the followers?
Yes, I'd like to say. Of course, I'd like to say hello. I'd like to say hello, and I'd like to say sorry that we haven't been in Italy for haven't been for a long time, and I'm sorry we've been a bit quiet, but we will be doing different bits and pieces. I'd also like to say thank you very, very much for supporting us and actually not forgetting about us, because we don't release albums very often. So it's not that we don't want to do it, it's just that time gets in the way and life gets in the way. So we haven't forgotten everybody, and we're very, very honoured that we haven't been forgotten either. So hello.
So thank you, Jem.
Thank you, Jem.
No, you're very, very welcome. What are you guys working on? What are your musical projects you doing?
Now I'm recording an album with my band. Our work in progress.
Yep.
Yeah, always.
And I'm always working on videos for DKS Synth Lab. So if you check on YouTube, you can see all the videos, all the demos of the synthesizer.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I shall definitely do that. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Jem.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.